Hello, I'm Elgato and welcome back to the video. Today I'm doing something just a little bit weird, and yes, this is going to look very strange on YouTube because I'm playing Minecraft Classic. This is the version of the game that was available for free on the Minecraft website for the longest time, but it's also just what Minecraft was for a decent amount of time until the alpha phases of the game started to come out, and then the beta, etc, etc. And I think because of that, it would be worth coming back to this version, you know, the version of the game that many people just knew as Minecraft for the longest time, because if you didn't pay for the game, this is what you got to play for free. And I figured I'd talk about some of the things, because this game looks strikingly similar to Minecraft today in so many different ways, but there's so many tiny things that just seem a bit off that make you appreciate how good Minecraft is today. And I figured let's talk about 5 things that you don't really appreciate until they're gone by talking about old Minecraft and showing you how things used to look. So hopefully you do enjoy this video. You can like it if you do like it because it helps out the channel, and let's say you do enjoy this whole video. But let's get straight into it really, shall we? And let's start by talking about, I guess, one of the first small kind of gripes here, and this is the one that like drives me crazy whenever I look at gameplay of this. Maybe this is just a small thing, maybe it's not, but whenever I place anything, including like these bricks right here, placing it just seems wrong, right? Like when you place it, something's a bit off with the way it is, and it took me a while to work out exactly what it is because it just seems to instantly be there. It seems really unrealistic that just suddenly a brick appears in front of you, and the reason behind that is because your right hand isn't really moving. It's just resetting, as you can see, and there's no block placing sound. In fact, you know, it's a thing that you'll also miss. There's no sounds of any type in this version of the game, so yeah, that's something that you're gonna miss as well. But the fact that everything just places instantly, it feels wrong to me. Like, this doesn't feel like I'm really placing blocks, it just feels like they're magically appearing there, which isn't what Minecraft is all about. You're meant to feel like you're placing it, even in creative mode, which this is like, because this is, you know, this was the only version of the game, it's kind of like a cross between creative and survival. There's no flying, but there is infinite blocks, and yeah, it just feels really wrong, and that's the first thing. The second thing, like I said, is the no sounds thing, but also the lack of music. Like, Minecraft music, again, you don't really appreciate it until it suddenly kicks in, you're like, yeah, I love this. But when I first started playing Minecraft, one of the big draws to me, one of the things that made me like realize I love the game so much, was the music. When Sweden starts playing, I think that's the one that I like the best. Like, when that song starts playing, you're like, whoa, yeah, and you know, it reinforces the feeling of calm and, like, you know, niceness about the game that just isn't here. This is just me playing a weird little demo, it feels like. Again, something about the music really ups the production value from being like, oh yeah, this is nice, to like, this is amazing, and it's not something that you fully do appreciate. So yeah, the lack of music, the lack of that music playing, like, if I add that in now, it'll sound way better, right? But it's not here, and it's kind of disappointing. So the next thing that's not here and is kind of disappointing, you know, besides just the music thing, is the fact that the game can't be upped in resolution. It has to run at 480p. So you might wonder why this looks so weird on your YouTube screen. It's because I had to like record the send from my monitor and then stretch it out to 1080p. So yeah, things are gonna look a little bit weird just because of that, and it's a very, very bizarre little thing. The next thing that's very different about this version is caves. So yeah, you don't really appreciate how good caves are today, because honestly, caves aren't that great. Also, look, you can place roses on sand, but caves aren't that great today. You know, like, there's a lot of complaints about them, like they could be better, and I really do believe that, yeah, they'll improve them at some point, but caves back at this point in the game were even worse than that. They were so bland, like bland beyond belief. There is, I mean, besides the fact that we're in essentially creative mode, we don't need to go here because we've got infinite blocks. The fact that, like, you know, there's no real rhyme or reason to caves. Like, you can find ores anywhere, in any number of like blocks, it seems. The fact that there's no real exploration to them. In fact, it often goes to 1 block wide where you can't explore it, which again, modern day issue as well. It's a really weird thing, and if I stack myself out, I actually found a cave earlier. Also, look, this is old cobblestone again, but I actually I placed some bricks just to memorize the point. But basically, or maybe I didn't, maybe I've lost it. But basically, yeah, caves just look really, really weird in this version. And just to prove that, yeah, even more actually, let's go all the way down. Let's find ourselves a cave. Let's just dig around for one, and let's show another one, because there's some really weird stuff, like ores generates in like odd number of veins, and it's just weird stuff right there. So yeah, that's something. Oh, here we go. Found ourselves a cave. As you can see, this cave actually is a nice one, fairly close to day, but because there's no like variation in the blocks, it looks really bland. It's just a big hole of dirt, hole of, like, you know, in the dirt, I guess, made of stone, or a hole in the stone. And as you can see also, iron can spawn in as many blocks as it likes, and there's something about seeing these huge veins that, although a part of me is like, yes, I can mine all of that and put it in my beacon, obviously back in this day of the game, it'd just be like, oh, that's a lot of coal to find in one place. Whereas I feel like the system where you find 8, maybe 9 at once, it's just more exciting because you find it more frequently, and I don't know, just, it doesn't feel like I'm exploring a cave right now. Caves have gotten so much better, and you don't really appreciate it. And although I don't like that, like, or I do like the fact that everything's lit, you don't have to, like, you know, place your own lighting down, it is a nice thing like that. So yeah, you don't appreciate how good caves are, even though I feel like they could be better, and they will be better eventually. You know, I'd love to see a caving update. For now, I feel like, you know, you appreciate how good they are, because, like, this is how bad they used to be. So the next thing that's kind of bad is the creative menu. So again, this is kind of a cross between creative and survival. Back when Minecraft was first made, it was just kind of like, oh yeah, you place blocks down kind of tool. So the interesting thing about the creative menu is it is just called the build menu. It's select block. This reminds me a lot of the Pocket Edition in the early days, and I guess that's where the Pocket Edition got its ideas from, but there is only, if you count right here, what is that, 45 blocks available, or is this 9 per row? So I guess that means there is 41 blocks available, odd number if you ask me, and there is only one half stab available for all of that, fun little fact too. But yeah, looking at all the blocks here, this creative menu is so tricky to use. Like, it's obviously the easiest one to set up, because like, oh yeah, you hover over stuff, but the current day creative menu, at least on you know, the PC and on the consoles, it's really easy to use. You know, you don't really appreciate like just how easy it is to grab any of the hundreds of blocks in the game. Well, back in these days, there used to be 41 blocks available, and so, you know, getting through them is like kind of a mess. Using the menu is a mess. Like, clicking away from this took me ages to work out, because it's B to open it. You know, B is a really weird one, and the only way to close it is either to go into the escape menu, or you have to click away from the box. And again, it just feels unintuitive, because it also like nudges your view down a bit. You can see that right there. Like, if I just like keep opening it, it'll go down and down and down. It's just a really weird thing, and also it centers your it's bad, basically. I really don't like it. It's a really bad menu, and it's something you don't appreciate until things change. So yeah, I'd also say stuff like, oh yeah, sneaking's really important, because even if you are like, you know, building in, you know, like non-flying like this, building like this and trying to play stuff like that, it's super annoying, and makes things really bad. So yeah, sneak mode, really something you don't appreciate. Again, it's just a fundamental part of Minecraft, but yet without it, like trying to do stuff like this is so tricky, you know, like just, this is how I used to, like back when I first started Minecraft, my very first world I play with friends, I was building a huge like sky rail, like, you know, a rail connecting things, kind of like my Let's Play world, and I had to build it like this, because I didn't realize crouch mode was a thing, and like the amount of like stress you go through as you're like, please don't fall, and as a fun fact, I got like 20 blocks through and then fell and then lost everything. So yeah, I do kind of appreciate it, but you should appreciate it more. Also, it looks like just having blocks above them makes the dirt go away, which is kind of a cool little Easter egg thing there. So yeah, let's next talk about the fact that world sizes were limited. So this is one of the technical breakthroughs that made Minecraft so impressive in my opinion. But if you think about how you would store, so again, oh, I broke something. Oh. That's odd. Oh, there's like a button that pauses the game. Oh, it seems to like freeze it for a second. Okay, that's weird. So, basically, let's talk about the edge of the world, because if you think about, if you were going to make a Minecraft game and you wanted to have a world, say, you know, you wanted to make a way to store all of these blocks in your memory so you could come back to them. You'd figure, again, the most logical way to do it is you have every single block that can be placed in a 128 by, you know, whatever size grid, and then you store every block value in a little table, right? Like, oh yeah, so in this position you have that, and then in that you have that, and that's how Minecraft did it for the longest time at the start. And even though they did it in the most efficient way possible, I think it took literally a byte for every single block, which again, kind of impressive that you know, an entire block can be stored in just a byte. Nowadays they use some really complex like chunk algorithm, blah 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 blah, but it means that essentially they can, you know, have infinite worlds stored within, you know, only a few gigabytes, even if you explored a decent amount of it, because the world generates as you see it. It's not all generated by default, which means that, you know, the largest size world we could get, like if we go to huge worlds, you'll be able to see, like, even with the largest world we can get, the end is still just about in sight from every direction, because again, Minecraft, it used to store every single block like this, and infinite worlds really is a novel, like, one of the things that makes Minecraft impressive, one of the things that none of their competitors can do right, is getting those infinite worlds, because the amount of, like, again, getting something like not storing every single block, but still being able to, like, register them all, it's one of the things that made Minecraft so impressive, and it's something that a lot of games can't necessarily do great, even to this day. So, again, you have to give Minecraft some props for that, you have to give Minecraft some props for the way that, like, again, I feel like the placing blocks works today. Again, it's such a subtle thing, but it makes the game feel more comfortable. There's so many of these things that are like, oh yeah, you don't appreciate it till it's gone, but it does make things look better, and that's just some small things I wanted to talk about. Also, while we're talking about it, physics, as you can see, water physics are really weird. Just like, if water can go there, it will go there, it seems. So if we do something really kind of strange, so let's say we're over here and we make like a, oh, oops, that's not good. Okay, let's make a huge like water track that goes all the way up to here, let's say. It will just instantly fill, because Minecraft just calculates the, yeah, again, it's kind of clever that it's just like, oh yeah, water can be all over there, so it will. So it just fills like that, and it's kind of weird to look at, but it's the way it works. But even weirder than this is the fact that we grab sand blocks. Again, like, tiny animations really affect how you perceive Minecraft. So again, just, it's the exact same way it works today, where if you place sand up high, it will fall down. But instead of having any animation, having the entity phase in between, it just goes straight from where the block should be to, where the block is being placed to where it should be. Which means if you do something like, I don't know, this for instance, So we'll place some sand on top of there, then you destroy it, it just instantly goes down. Again, it feels unnatural, and there's a lot of these tiny things that were fixed by the game, such as when you place a log, it can't go sideways in this version. There's so many of these tiny things that just were changed at some point, and you just see them as part of Minecraft, but they're part of the reason that Minecraft is so great today. And I think going back and playing this version again, because the first time I played it was just like, oh, Minecraft's a game and I don't want to pay for it, but they have a free version, I'll give that a try. I didn't really like the game back then, and there's so many things that they improved that made the game worth paying for, which is why I paid for it eventually and why I bought it on the console, and then why this channel became a thing. And I figured it would be cool to go back and show you, so I hope you did all appreciate today's video. Please do like it if you did like it, because it helps out the channel a lot. Listen, you do like seeing old Minecraft, and before we go, because I feel like there's going to be one person who's like, wait a minute, it's okay, you didn't cover the most important thing. What is that block right there? So this is the old gold block. Again, let's exactly why it's different was never clarified, but they changed it to the modern day gold block, and that's that. Every other block is like one you should recognize from modern day Minecraft, although these blocks, although they don't have a name yet, they weren't called wool, they were called cloth, and they were very slightly different because... Anyway, there you go. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like if you liked it, share if you liked it, subscribe if you're new around here, and I guess I'll see you all in the next video. So have a nice day. Goodbye.